Welcome back to the EGL Open here in London. My name is Tony and I'm here with a different partnership this time around, the third one that we're going to be trying out anyway, Toby and Darko, of course. Great game that we just seen there between Horizon and Frenchies. Toby, your thoughts on the game? Because we were sitting back, mostly laughing at what Elliot was saying.
I'm sorry, by the way, for the stream, for the viewers out there. I apologise. I really do apologise for some of the things I said.
We're not just going to keep ribbing you. Don't worry. Look, we've got some ammunition for Toby as well. Either way, Toby, your thoughts on the game that we just seen?
A bit of an upset, isn't it? A bit of a surprise. I was talking to you right during that game. We're thinking, like, what's going on here? You'd have thought the Frenchies are a bit of a dark horse, right, to upset some of these teams. You know, they've all played against each other, similar like scenarios with the Spanish teams. They're all used to playing together online. You know, ex-Supremacy members throughout. But yeah, Horizon Union brought it today. Very impressive stuff from them. Equally so, I don't think Frenchies were up to par, the usual par. I would have thought they would have done better. So a bit of a combination of playing well and not so good on the other end.
So I mean, going into this one though, we'll brush over that previous series and now Fable against Lucent. The first time that we're going to see our champions, arguably a lot of people call them maybe the best team in the world, at least one of the best teams in the world, Fable, going up against Lucent. Now, it's a tough one, isn't it? Because you want Lucent to come into here and prove that they can maybe beat a team like Fable, or maybe even like just push them. But do we see that happening?
Personally, no. I think you have to say no. Bottom line, Lucent, they did very well in that first game of the day. They showed that they're performing just as well as they did in Sheffield. But you're coming up against Fable, and this is where the brick wall, in my opinion, lies in this winners bracket for Lucent. There's only so much you can do against the talent, against the teamwork, against the experience of Fable. And I think, honestly, I think Lucent, they have their work cut out for them, but I just don't see them performing as well as they did earlier.
Yeah, I totally agree with Toby in this situation. I think that Fable are too strong of a side, too strong of a team. I think Lucent probably wouldn't have wanted Fable at this point in the tournament. I think they probably would have wanted them later. Yeah. But yeah, no, they're just too strong. They're such a great team. But we've seen it. We've seen upsets before, so we can't completely rule them out.
I mean, that's the thing. If you're Fable, the pressure is always on you. You're always being hunted. That's the thing. Everyone wants to beat you, so that pressure has got to be there for them still. I mean, I know we had a talk with a couple of the guys last night. They haven't scrimmed a lot recently. School has been a bit of an issue for a couple of the players, I do believe, Toby.
Yeah, I think it was Marsh who has been very busy with exams at the moment. Yeah. Given the period it is in the academic year, but I'd assume that they're just going to use their basics at this point in time. Yeah, they really do need to keep practicing hard against the North American teams, keep working on teamwork, individual skill, etc., etc. But I think it's business as usual, right, in Europe. They don't need to bring out anything too flashy. Play as they usually do, and it should be smooth sailing for them in that sense.
Yeah, I think so. I think that they're going to have the experience from scrimming. Obviously, I know that we kind of talked about not scrimming recently, but we've seen them when they can bring the fire. I don't think they particularly need to scrim at this point to bring the fire to teams like Lucent. I think it's just going to I think Fable are just still going to come out as strong as what they were when we saw in Sheffield.
So we're feeling comfortable for that.
Yeah, we're feeling very comfortable for that, I think.
Well, let's see the picks and the bans for these two and see how this game is going to break down. Of course, we're going to have Fable manning first. They're going to take Harbour out. Lucent taking away Lift. First pick for each team is Dam for Fable, and Foundation is going to be picked by Lucent. Second ban coming in is going to be Forge Blitz for Fable. Lucent will pick Impact, and we'll be playing Reclaimed. Last map, well, probably not, let's be honest. So, any thoughts after you've seen the maps, Toby?
Absolutely no surprises here, actually. Fable go to ban Harbour. Lift is banned by Lucent. Not too surprised after how well played Aerox did in comparison to the first map of Foundation earlier in that game. Of course, Fable go for their pick of Dam, Foundation out from Lucent. You could have predicted this one, actually. No team is taking any risks. They're just getting rid of their worst maps. Fable ban Forge Blitz, a bit of an unpredictable map at times there. Impact as well from Lucent. And obviously, if it goes to final map Reclaimed, I think both teams would be happy with that. But it's such a practice map for everybody. All three of the maps that we're playing today that, it's going to be business as usual for Fable, I think.
Yeah.
I think so. I'm quite surprised that Fable didn't ban Forge Blitz earlier. I thought it took them kind of 2 map picks before banning Forge Blitz. That's a bit of an interesting thought process because obviously I think Lucent are very, very good on Forge Blitz, and I think that's probably the only map that
Do you
they
think
could
Fable
have.
just don't care?
I really, yeah. I think it's got to that point now. You know, the competition in America is so strong. I feel like they almost don't take the EU competition as seriously as they should. I feel like, you know, maybe that's a little bit of their downfall.
It could be potentially be a downfall.
Yeah.
You know, you go in against anybody. You know, it's a high pressure scenario for them. As said, you know, they come into these games. Everyone's expecting them to like walk this tournament without losing a map. But that pressure is hard in itself because then if you start losing some stuff and things start going wrong, then there's question marks around your teammates. You sort of say, well, why are we losing this many rounds? Why are we losing a map against this team? And it's that negativity could potentially take over. Hopefully, we think it won't. But realistically, we do expect Fable to be comfortable here. But at the same time, I still think it is a high-pressure scenario for them when they're sitting, you know, top of the table, so to speak.
Yeah, definitely. It is. Yeah, it's almost like they only have themselves to beat in terms of that. You know, they are on the top of that tower. Every single European team's trying to get a little bit of the action. You know, so they only really have it to lose themselves. Really, I think that the only way that they could, like you say, the only way that their downfall is if they don't take this match seriously and Lucent, you know, do cause an upset potentially.
After the picks and bans, any more hope for Lucent, or is it more of just a pretty much feeling the same about it?
Dam is Fable's best map, in my opinion, from what I've seen. So I think they're going to pretty much whitewash that. The next map, Lucent's pick, could potentially be a little bit more interesting, a little bit more competitive. But no, I think it's just, you know, we expected it to be those types of maps.
Yeah, I think Fable's removed any sense of surprise in these maps. It's by far the most popular maps in Europe. Likewise, Gears Esports as a whole. You know, Fable's got their favorite maps on the board. There's no Forge Blitz, of course, which Lucent have surprised on. There's no strategy involved, such as Lift and Impact. Previously, Fable have had problems on Lift. Used to be a ban of theirs. But instead, we're going for the absolute basics now in the map pick, and I think Fable have removed any issues there, potential issues that could pop up by having these maps come through for this match.
So, if anything, we favour it towards Fable, the ban and picks. Anyway, predictions time. Boys, who are you both predicting to win this game? Well, I mean, there's no surprises there. I mean, I'm going to go the same, but I would like to just point out that this is not my writing. This was Toby's. I actually wrote Toby's because he has the handwriting of a 3-year-old.
I don't support this.
Like, I mean... What on earth are you doing?
This was not staged.
Do they not
this is not scripted.
Wales? Do you not like? Do you communicate just by? I don't know.
Mate, the amount of Red Bulls I've consumed already with the hype that this event is producing.
Well, if anything, you should be writing better than this. I don't really understand.
It's almost if you look at it from like, you know, just for the viewers.
That could
it's almost like he wrote the FNA and was like, oh, do you know what?
You know what? I give up.
I'm lazy. The BLE.
Honestly, you could go to a cave in Wales and see better handwriting than that. Anyway, we are going to get into this game in just a second, but we are mostly favouring Fable. That's my handwriting there, by the way.
It's my card there. That's all that matters.
Yeah, yours was a little bit, but
I mean, I'm trying to go for something, you know, a bit beautiful, but failed miserably. So that's what I think of my
story
own
of my
handwriting.
life. Anyway,
let's put these away.
Put the cards away. But we are feeling very strongly towards Fable. As the tournament goes on, though, we obviously have Fable as our favourites. Where do we sort of see Lucent after their performance that we've seen already today? Going into this one, obviously, we'll probably have a better idea. But from what we've seen so far, what are we expecting throughout the weekend from Lucent?
I mean, I think they're looking stronger than many people thought at first, me including. As I keep mentioning, naysayers amongst the community, or maybe Lucent aren't as good as they were, maybe was a fluke in Sheffield. But no, that first matchup, they looked impressive, to say the least, in every dimension. The skill, teamwork, chemistry, everything was there. Now, this match might not be a fair representative of that, honestly, representation. Fable are expected to 2-0 sweep these, but Lucent, if anything, keep your heads held high. Use this as a warm-up, if anything, for the future teams to come.
I was going to completely agree that I think that Lucent need to use this as maybe trying some new stuff out, because you know, I expect them to be in the latter stages, you know, in those key fights, and maybe if they come to fight Fable in the latter stages of this tournament, that they can, you know, use this map here to kind of iron out any mistakes, iron out any any bad plays.
Yeah, well, that's the point, isn't it? That Lucent are coming into this. Nobody expects them to win this, so the pressure isn't necessarily onto them whatsoever, is it really? It's more of a go into this game and see what happens. You know, we're going against one of the best teams in the world. A series like this is going to be very hard for them to win. If they can even take a map, if they can get some good rounds, it gives them some, motivation towards the end of the tournament. We're going to get into this one anyway. It's going to be Fable taking on Lucent here at EGL London. Toby, Darko, handing over to you.
Thank you very much, Chris. Let's get into this first game then. Of course, Fable are expected to take this quite comfortably. We are going to their favorite map on the whole game, which is, of course, Dam, the mode escalation. First to 210, a triple cap, of course, can end the round prematurely. And we are starting on that 10-second respawn timer, no power weapons in play. Well, let's jump on board with Legend. Let's see how Lucent get underway in perhaps one of the most aggressive positions on the map, being baby steps.
Definitely, Toby. That, I think that if Lucent are going to do anything, and look, we see that they're kind of maybe doing something a little bit different. Totty does take down Phelpsy. That's a really good start for him. They are putting a little bit more focus on this pit area. So let's see if they can use this and gain a little bit of position in the map. And Totty Cougars do take down Marsh and Krim. And that's the best start you're going to have from Lucent. Well played there. And they are going to get B position. They've now taken down Hydron and Crazed, and Lucent, they've come out the ranks here. They've come out like a keen race dog proceeding onto the track. So well played there from Lucent.
Indeed, indeed. And as we have a brief pause as the players reset and respawn on the Fable side, we do see a few players rotating over to position ready. Fable are looking to go straight back to that B hill and recapture what they believe to be theirs. Of course, a very good start from Lucent, but Fable, they've retaken this pumping station quite convincingly many times in the past. It's going to be Marsh who opens up and fractures. Make that a double, make that a triple. A statement already coming out from this player as Phelpsy cleans up Totty. Cougar's picking up a kill, but it's not going to lead to much. Fable already on the comeback here.
Oh, that can't happen. It can't happen there. Marsh did a great, what a great three-piece from him to show that, we are still the best in Europe, and they're definitely proving why from an individual perspective. But, Lucent, they're obviously, from what we've seen before in the past from them, from the EGL Sheffield event, and obviously online, they are quite a team that, rely on winning those shotgun fights, rely on winning those individual encounters. So, and they're about to do that against Fable. So it's going to be pretty hard for them they're going to have to maybe play a bit of a more of a team game. I don't know what you think here, Toby, but I definitely think that the team game is going to be more of the option for Lucent rather than the individual shotgun fights.
Lucent need everything going for them at this point in time, especially to break this crazy. He follows Cougars, he knows exactly where he's going, gets the LT out and holds his shot perfectly. Amazingly well done. Craze looking for Totty here on baby steps. Of course, the shotgun fights do continue over at that B hill, but Lucent, they've overextended. They've captured Fable's home hill now, and Craze, he's forced to take some action elsewhere here on top of the platform. Quickly rotating back, Cougars hiding around the corner. Craze isn't having any of it. I believe a call-out came out to him at the very least. Craze not having any of that.
He's having none of it at all, Toby, is he? That's a great shot there from Crazed, and now we see Fable going to put some pressure on the home hill with Lucent, and well, this is dodgy games for Lucent. I mean, those kind of situations, they can't happen, and now look we see Fable near here taking down the A hill, but they are losing Bill Hill in the same situation. This is going to go down strictly to the wire. What's going to happen here? Fable doing well to work well as a team, and look, I think they're overtaking Lucent here, and I think this is going to be Fable's round.
Yep. 7 more seconds, and this is indeed going to be a Fable round. But, it's not even that much of a difference in score. Lucent, they start off in the lead there. Fable losing in points all the way up to the end, but Fable, they hold on, they keep their slaying game on point. Of course, Crazed on the far left of your screen there. He was doing absolute bits for his team, for sure.
Him and Marsh, the game changes there, because at one point I thought that Lucent were looking like they were going to win that round, or at least get a very heavy point score, and they did. But Fable being Fable, they reversed it very, very quickly. So great round from them to come back into the game.
Question is now, though, how are Lucent going to play this? They've shown that they can win this initial at pumping station, But holding on to it is another issue all in itself. And are you confident enough that you're going to win an initial over and over against Fable? That's a question they need to ask themselves. Also, boom shot potentially could be placed at pit in the future. That's a consideration. Do you want to maybe place a power weapon elsewhere just to keep them from having a strict boom shot in future? We'll have to wait and see, of course, in future rounds. Enforcer was placed down at the home hills. Don't see that influencing things too much, but you can get a few sneaky downs there as people push.
Definitely. And again, we're going to see this B fight. This is a very, very important key area of the map. But, you know, as I say that, Lucent do take one down on the baby stairs, and Krim repays the favor on Totti. And I think now Craze is looking a little bit hungry in this B hill, but he decides to just back off for a quick moment. And now Lucent have 3 members in this B hill. Maybe make that 4 members in this B hill. So they need to do something now. They need to use these numbers to capitalize on this position. And just as I say that, looking at the overhead map, Fable have 1 person, actually 2 people in this B hill. So Lucent need to move very, very quickly here, and they're going to do just that. But Fable, look at the team 5 from Fable here. Fortin's made red in an absolute instant.
Bit of a rotation though, I think. Yeah. Fortin's, I think they were looking for Phelpsy there, but rightfully so. Phelpsy, he rolls back, gets to cover, knows that they haven't lost the B hill, so he just needs to stay alive if anything. And don't give Lucent any space. All Fable players now just lined up against this wall. Here's the play from Marsh to open up. Fortin's caught his pants down, actually, as he didn't have his Nash out at the time, but the teamwork is just about there for Lucent to help out and keep him alive. Fortin's, he continues the push. He gets down. Hydron answers back, finding fractures, and it's now a 2v2 shotgun, I believe, on this B hill. Just about capturing it, but Lucent's still here. While though I say that, the triple cap starts blinking because there is an overextension. But the B hill just about broken. Lucent holding on.
I mean, I mean, while Lucent were trying to get that B hill, they're getting decapped in every area for a Fable domination. But Totti they do well to get the 2 players in from Fable. And now we're seeing Totti proceed upon Krim, and Krim does go down. Totti gets the kill. This is good position here for Lucent. They need to use it. They need to capitalize on this.
Hydron's going to fall, so Lucent, they've gained pumping station control, right? Cougar's full red. It was not without casualties previously, but they do have the setup. They have pumping station, as I've mentioned. They've got baby steps, evidently, and now they're moving over the platform. But Phelpsy is trying to wrap around to stop any really big fortification setting up there. And as such, of course, Fable, they're going to be coming off respawn, and they'll be planning the next push very quickly indeed.
I think that was a bit of a questionable decision there from Cougars. And look, you know, 4 down in an absolute instant there. And now Fable are putting a lot of pressure on Lucent's home hill. This is not a good position to be if you're Lucent Legends. But he's trying to get, he's getting cornered from all angles, and now Fable are tripped out, got cap dominating. Phelps, he's just thinking to run into the spawn, but he does get taken down by fractures. He's going to have to go huge here to stop this from happening. 1 is in the truck, may I remind you, ladies and gentlemen. Totti does take down 1, and fractures there in a very bad position. But look at the teamwork, look at the rotation. Well done. To get back and recognise that Lucent did have the home hill, so well played there from Fable.
And the thing is, as well, Darker, they've bought such a huge amount of time for themselves. The points lead, they lost enough numbers. It's perfect that they're starting to pull back, but you know, Lucent, they know what's going on. Totti is able to break the B hill, but of course they can't overextend that far, that fast. Can Lucent, and as such, Fable will win quite comfortably there in points.
It just looks, yeah, like you say, I agree with you, Tobes. It just really looks like Fable they know what to do in every instance. They know what to do in every situation. And Lucent are going, you know, I know we did the predictions, but Lucent are going to need something very big here to break their setups, to, you know, set up against them, because it looks like every single time they're setting up in that B hill, they're getting broken in an instant. With, you know, we saw that there as an example there in that round. But Incendiary's placed on the near the baby stairs on the platform area, so Lucent may have a bit of a different strategy to go by, or just on the overhead looking at where they're going to go.
Yeah, that should stimulate a bit more movement now through platform and baby steps. It shouldn't be such a, you know, head-on clash at B, and a bit more of a passive game style, if you will, game plan coming out from Fable. Let's see, Krim and Phelpsy actually picking up kills through the baby steps. As mentioned, even Phelpsy, he's getting in the double. He's great with his incens. I'm sure he's going to put them to great use here. Hydron with the Enforcer to catch out players as they rotate out of B. This is working very, very well. They're
just so good at putting pressure. Every single time they get a couple of kills, it's just immediate pressure for Fable. And look how good they are. You know, he had not a chance in hell there, Toby. And look, they're just falling down like flies in a hot room. You love to see Fable here. You know, you love to see it because obviously we are such great supporters of Fable from an EU perspective, and you love to see them working well, you know, in those scenarios. So great round from Fable, and this is looking like a bit of a whitewash so far. So yeah, Fable looking a very comfortable position, Tobes.
And at this point, you know, Fable, they've had 3 rounds on the board. They're well into the game now. It's time for Lucent to do a little bit more drastic of a weapon placement. Actually, the M bar is going down at pit.
We love that.
Don't disagree with this at all. You know, we've touched upon it. Everybody knows, I think, in the whole Gears Esports community that boom shot is a very favorable placement for Fable in that area. Instead, put an M bar down. You can't fire it straight away. You have to give it a bit of a charge up, so quick pickups and shots aren't, you know, as viable as it is with a boom shot, which doesn't allow as much aggression, you might argue, but Lucent will still go for that weapon, and it will change up and force this map to change in an instant. Phelpsy, though, getting those incense in hand.
Oh, it's just a good dodge there from Totti. But I mean, I was about, oh, great job there to take down Hydrone, and Phelpsy throws an incinerator his mate and takes down his own teammate in Crim, and now Phelpsy's looking in a bit of a bad position. Lucent needs to take this down quickly. They cannot let him stay alive, and they do just that. Well played there from Lucent. I was about to say, Toby, before this round started, that Lucent are going to have to do something very magical to win that rotation, because we're obviously looking at past events from Fable. We know that they are very good in that rotation, but Lucent have come out the victors, so well played.
Well, it was Exudes, the master of the M-bar, as we saw in our top 5 clips of EGL Sheffield. His replacement actually has got the weapon now. Player has traded that over for Totti.
I've seen Totti do some pretty magical things with that weapon, Toby. So although we've had Exudes on the top 5 plays, I'm sure that if Totti gets going, if he catches fire, we could have him in the same position. So let's jump on board with Totti and see what he's going to do with this. He's aiming his sights. He hits his mate there by accident. It's not what you want, not what
Didn't
you
know
want
how to react to that, honestly.
I thought that was a headshot, but then it was his own teammate. I didn't really know
I
what
wasn't
was going
expecting that at all. But nonetheless, Totti has started to move back to the baby steps for the angle. He needs a body check, if anything, now, because Fable, they're moving fast. They've already picked up 3 kills there over in the pumping station, but equally so, he needs to stay alive. Ooh. He's full red. Hydrone gets him full red. Is that enough to warrant a push? It seems like. Baiting out shots. Hydrone tries to go for that shot over the cover. Doesn't work. The wraparound shot and a bit more help from his teammate will allow Hydrone to push in for that C-Hill. Nice little break as well. And with the points lead that's building, the map control, the M-bar is gone now from Lucent. This is really looking good for Fable, and they can just take their time at this point.
Yeah, this is, and they're doing such a great job to set up in these scenarios. Hydrone, just to show the kind of player that man is, you know, great way to approach that, you know, that guy, that player on the sandbag, and I think that guy just panicked, so great win there, and now Fable, I think, will set up all around the map, making it very difficult for Lucent to break, but as I say that, we're now in a 2v1 situation. Phelpsy's in a 2v1 situation, make that a 3v2 situation. He takes down Totti. Great team fire there from Hydrone, and it just looks like Lucent don't know how to break this. They're getting pressure at all angles. A great incinerator grenade there from Hydrone to take down Fractures, and now we see them going to go for the home hill setup and then rotate back into B. I don't think Lucent are in a good position here to stop this from happening at the moment. Fable just look too strong in these rotations. What do you think, Toby?
I'm a bit surprised, actually, that the points are this close. It just seemed like Fable have been walking around this map like there's no enemy on it right now. Marsh proving that right there. 2 kills to his name. The triple cap starts blinking, and it will be captured right there and then. 4-0. And even Fable, they had the M-bar at the end earlier. So even if that triple cap didn't work, they still had the points lead. They had the M-bar to stop any potential push from the spawn coming from Lucent. And Fable looking strong as ever.
Looking strong as ever. You don't like to see it. You know, you want to see a bit more of a game, but let's hope that Lucent can recuperate, you know, in these next couple of rounds and try and at least make this 4-2 before the hill switch. But at the moment, it just doesn't look like there's any way of that happening. Fable look way too strong in the rotations. They look way too strong in terms of their slaying power as well. And this is what we expect. This is business as usual, would you say, Toby?
Yep, I would. Yeah, and I think I'll say the 4th time before this match is over.
Okay.
Eventually.
Okay, we've said it a couple of times already. My apologies. I just like to repeat what you say, Toby. That's where I get my momentum
thank
from.
you, mate.
No worries,
thank
mate.
you.
No worries.
What nice words, kind
you.
words.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Well, weapon placement-wise, it is going to be a block again from Lucent. We've seen plenty of them in the previous match versus Aerox, actually at the top of pumping station. So you know what? They've said they like this battle at pit. It's going to stay like that for the rest of this half. Let's see. Krim does open things up. Hydron and Craze picking up kills, so that should be a free, easy Ember. Maybe even a triple cap. Legend should get pinched out. He does. The overextension begins, and the B hilt will be catch-up soon.
Looking like a dangerous game. Lucent are playing here. They're trying to match Fable in that rotation. I think I said it previous round. I mean, I know they won it that previous round, but they definitely didn't win it that round. And look how quickly Fable proceed on their home hill and take the trip cap. It's a very dangerous game for Lucent. I think they're playing at the moment.
For me, instead of the block, I would have liked something along the lines of a torque bow, right? We saw Cougars go absolutely off with that weapon on Foundation, the very first map of their previous match here in this tournament. And we know how good Fable are at this pit fight. You know, they've beaten Optic Gaming. They've knocked them out of a pro circuit event, essentially, by beating them here on this very fight at pit. And yet you're going head-to-head and choosing to go head-to-head with them again and again in this very area. You know, I would have much preferred a more powerful weapon placed on the other side of the map to try and break that up.
If Lucent are going to have any chance of putting a dent on this Fable armor, they're going to have to try things a little bit different and try things that maybe Fable aren't as strong as. And it looks like almost that Lucent are playing into the Fable hands. And it's not working, but Totti there, great. And Legend does take down Hydra as well, and he takes down Phelpsy, so he's just got the two-piece. That's good. That's a good little bit of life there from Lucent, but now Craig's has caught him with his pants down, and he takes down Forces there, and now we're seeing Fable get the kills. Lucent in front. And now we see Fable here proceeding on there in a good position. This Lucent member Cougars needs to keep his life. We've seen Cougars go massive before. He needs to do something now because Lucent look like they're struggling for answers. And as I say, that Fractures comes in and takes down Krim. Good defense there. Good defense there from Lucent.
New wave of respawns as well from Lucent. Fable Craze, for example, still alive. He's pushing into 2 now. The movement will not help him as Cougars picks up 2 kills. And the Ember finally secured by a team. This time it's Totti. Perfect man, you'd argue, for Lucent to pick that one up as his teammates agree. Oh, hello. Phelps, he somehow sneaks up behind. Smart positioning once again from that player. He's been able to get these sneaky kills in the middle of the map, and he's just taken out the perfect player of Lucent for the Ember.
Great play from Phelps. He rotated and maybe took the pressure off somewhere else, somewhere else off the map, giving them a little bit of a chance to get some position elsewhere. And this is good team fire, but he seems to be the only one shooting. And now Fable are actually down on points, and Lucent look like they're about to try and set up and hold a B hill. Let's see if that works for them, because we know Fable are so good at breaking setups. But no, it's a better round from Lucent so far. But let's stay on Krim, because he's got the M-bar in hand.
And Phelps, he wants his incense as well. Perhaps the best player in Europe with those very grenades. So it's just absolutely perfect for Fable right now on top of this platform. They can do absolutely what they please, and they can't slow it down as they wait for their players to come off a respawn. You can see them stacking up, ready to go at that pumping station. Krim just keeping that angle from mid-map.
I want to see it, Tobes. I want to see an M-bar shot of
Almost
gods.
body checking.
Let's really hype out this stadium.
Here we go. Cougars tries to shut down Krim. Excellent shotgunning, keeping his damage up, keeping his range, and does find the M-bar player. Cougars now is going to be the one looking for the angle. Hydron actually taking down Craze with a melee. I believe he was trying to do the reset on the revive. Evidently didn't work out there. Only Fractures remains at the pumping station. And Phelpsy outplays him, I'd argue, for that one shot over the cover. And now he's overextended to the Sea Hill.
He's just got a free piece here. Phelpsy's truly showing up, and what a play there. Now we see the trip cap domination. Fable are just going to ease a little bit of the wound that Lucent have caused here on points. But I do think this is a much better round from Lucent. I don't know what you think, Toby, but they are doing a little better job. But as I say that, Krim does take down Cougars, and Craze does pick up the M-bar. We know he's a marksman with this weapon. I think Lucent here need to do something. They need to regroup. They need to just slow down the game. They are 10 points up. Once they've got this cap, they need to slow down something here. And Craze is just going to walk behind the Lucent member here at the baby stairs. Krim takes down Totti. And now we're seeing Fable proceed into this B hill. They're going to hold this. And now we're going to see the game slow down. But Lucent, they were doing a lot better, but I just think that they're just finding this hard.
Crib with the incense as well. Craze just trying to get the body check. He doesn't need to get a headshot with all the Lancer fire coming from his teammates. Keeping his distance to stay alive to make sure the Ember isn't lost, but he comes straight back in, finds Fracture's head. The points lead evidently going the way of Fable right now. And Lucent, not only do they need to get kills, they need numbers, and they are just dwindling by the second. Crim using the incense efficiently. Legend is going to get taken down at B as well, and it's going to be a triple cap to finish off in style as Fable make it 6-0 and performing as expected.
As expected, indeed. It just looks like, you know, I know I was saying that Lucent looked a lot better then, but it just looks like they don't have any end products. Once they get that position, once they do that rotation, Fable just taking 2 or 3 out. It's just completely breaking their setup. So Lucent are looking a little bit helpless here, would you say?
A little bit deflated on camera as well, it seems. You know, they understand what's going on right now. It's the usual Fable way here in Europe, and it's just total domination. Bringing up the scoreboard for the first time here in this game. 24 kills for Phelpsy. He's going off in that mid-map. He's not even playing the initials of that first half. But now we are going to be going straight into those initials with him as it's moved to the E-Hill. The platform is now where you'll find all those big shotgun fights at the start, and of course at that pit area. Just lurking around the back as well. He's being that sneaky player.
I don't think they know.
That Phelpsy cannot use. Coming straight up the back of Fulton's. Does miss his shot, but it doesn't matter. Wall cancel straight into the back of Legend. The damage is being put on. He's keeping his distance to make sure no one turns on him. Make it a double. Can he make it a triple? Yes, he can. He is going to get traded out, but only Fortons stays alive.
I mean, that can't happen in that situation. I don't really know if Fortons had a bit of a lag of his controller or something, but you know, it almost looked like he stopped. And again, you know, I was just about to say, Lucent, this is the time to really change this game, try to change the dynamic in this game. But again, Fable just doing a great job. Phelpsy there walking in like he's the Terminator, taking 3 down very, very easily. And it'll be interesting to see what Lucent are going to try and do to break this setup.
Nice angle from Legend. Quiet here at the bottom of baby steps. He's got a teammate behind him as well in pumping station, so he's not at risk at getting flanked. But Fable have such a strong presence on the platform, they're going to have to go in eventually, and here it is. He throws a smoke to conceal, but he only ends up stunning himself. Here comes Fractures up the back of Marsh. Bit of miscommunication, actually, from Fable. I'm surprised that Marsh died there as the player ran past his teammate, and I guess nothing was called. Hydron finds Fractures. Craze makes amends by winning his 1v against Legend. Totty does find Hydron as well, but Cougars will fall, and so Fable should be able to hold on to this. A comfortable 2v1 in front of them. Can Totty break the hills? That is the question. It's demanded of him at this point, but the D-Hill decap for a second. Totty holding on, but it's not enough. No,
against the likes of this Fable team, they've all looked like they're just catching fire at the moment, like a barbecue on a hot day. It's really is going off, and you know, it just looks like Lucent haven't got anything to say at the moment. They just look really helpless. The rotations aren't working for them, and then definitely not taking the individual fights. Again, Crim taking down Cougars. What can they do here, Tobes? What are they going to do? What's going to happen here? I mean, this is not looking good here for Lucent.
They need to just stay as a cohesive unit, right? I saw Legend overextend before his teammates came off respawn. He tried to get a 1v in the bag, but it's just a little bit too early there. And now it's simple. Fable will clear you up time and time again with numbers advantage. Even without numbers advantage, they can win team fights consistently. It just makes it all that much easier. And you can see the overextension is the result there of another successful, simple team fight victory. And it's going to be absolutely flawless on Damp. 7-0 now from Fable.
What a showing. What a showing. Very easy from them. You know, it's going to take a lot here for Lucent to recuperate and do something on this second map, because Fable just look like they're not giving this much effort at all. And you don't like to see that at all.
Comfortable on camera.
Very comfortable.
They're having nothing but laughs. Of course, we haven't mentioned that just yet. Rubik's the new coach of Fable. Man. We've praised this in the interviews with Chris, of course, in the content before this event. And, you know, I think he could really help out the team. You know, and he's one of these guys in the community, quite outspoken, clearly a very intelligent guy, productive individual. And I think, you know, Fable, they've not been too akin to working on strategies behind the scene and doing that, you know, the hard quantitative-based work and looking at VODs and stuff. They've just like playing, right? I think Rubik's can be that kind of component that fills in that gap. but also, stops them from, perhaps slumping at times during round losses and map losses that they did not expect.
Definitely.
Cannot wait to see how that works out for them in a pro circuit event now.
It's only going to make them much better. I think the Rubik Springs we already know that from a European perspective, they're on that high level. I think Rubik's can only just bring them to that, an even higher level. And like you say, it's going to be only beneficial for them when they go to these NA events. So it's a great pickup. I love Keith. I think he's a brilliant guy, like you say, and he's very intelligent. He knows his stuff. And again, just going to kind of benefit them more.
Yeah. And it looked like it benefited as much as it's ever going to in that match. I'm not even sure if Fable need a coach just to produce a performance like that, because that is a 7-0. We didn't go into a round count, but I'm sure if, me, you, Chris, Alex, if we predicted round count, it would have been fairly close to that, I think, especially for Dam being such a strong map for Fable.